This week's episode of the Good Dude Podcast is brought to you by Embrace Jiu-Jitsu, Hidden House Coffee, and Nex Gen Peptides. Welcome back to the Good Dude, Good Dad Podcast. I'm Jordan, and this is Ben. And it's hot in here.
Our AC is broke.
It's getting fixed. We're getting it fixed. But thank you guys for coming back. We took our summer break that we seem to take every single year in July. We weren't planning on taking it, but just our schedules. I think we started planning it after our second week of not having a podcast. We're like, we're taking July off because it's just not going to happen.
That's true.
But we've done it last year and we did it this year. I think we just do it every year.
July, 4th of July, dude. Celebration.
Yeah.
We're just
like, bah, bah, bah. And then we took a quick break last week just because life, man. That's part of it. But
kind of. We were in Philadelphia.
We were.
To watch our boy Jalen. So that was that was pretty dope. So
UFC 330.
That was dope.
How was it? Like that whole experience, what did you think about it?
It was cool. I was saying yesterday actually to Jalen and a couple other of the guys at the shop, and I was just like, it was like a surreal experience being there because this is my first fight, your first fight, but watching it on TV for so long, and then you're actually there, right? But you're not just there, you're there because like a good buddy of yours is there, and so I feel like you're more invested. But like my voice still isn't fully back, which is crazy. But I think what was cool is just like to see the different side of it. Like I actually think I'd prefer watching it on TV after going.
100%.
But going one time I think is like really cool. I would go again, obviously, if we had the opportunity. But it was a little strange. Like if you've never been to a UFC fight, like you walk in and it's not like any other sporting event, right? Like when you go to a hockey game or a baseball game or a football game or a basketball game, there's like a start. Mm-hmm. There's, anthems being sung, or like there's a physical start to let you know, oh, it's starting. Versus like when we were there, we're like sitting in our seats and all of a sudden just intro music to whatever fighter started. And you're like, wait, what? Like there wasn't even like a, hey, like the event's starting, or unless we missed it, but I don't think we did because we were sitting there. It was just like, that was weird to me. I guess maybe that's just their way of being different. I don't know. It's like arguably one of the best productions to ever be put on in a sporting event. But I was like, that's a little weird to me.
Yeah.
Like just, you're sitting there, you're talking, and then all of a sudden walkout song.
Right.
I was like, who's this guy? What is this song?
Well, even if you think about like an NHL game, right? You hear commentators, they like usually have like someone like more or less emceeing, right?
Yeah.
They talk to the players, they go over stats, they do all this different thing, and then they like hands it off to like a kickoff of the national anthem, all this different stuff, puck drop. But this was just like, like you said, it was just like nothing, like music, and then like the music cut off, and then they showed like a quick intro video, if even that, and then
of the fighter type thing,
and that was it. Right? Yeah, that was even more of like the main event. So I would have liked to have just had like someone pushing the show along personally, and I don't know if I'd ever necessarily pay to go to a UFC fight. Like if we got the opportunity, like you just said, I would go, but I don't know. It
was just different, and not in a bad way. It's just different. But I also, like the commentator thing is like, there's not a way to do it where you're not distracting the fighters, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, and also I didn't know that the rest of the arena was blacked out and only the lights were on the octagon. That was kind of cool, but I didn't, it's just things that you don't know. But it would have been cool to like hear something. Mm-hmm. But how do you do that when?
No, we should have done. We should have put headphones in and listened to Paramount while watching the fight.
That would have been cool.
That would have been pretty dope, huh?
That would be cool.
Maybe we'll have to do that next time we go.
Maybe.
But we met some cool people.
Yeah. The overall experience was just rad, though. And just like getting to be down there. There was definitely nothing like hearing 19,000 plus people like yelling down below, because we got to go down below, which was cool. And we were on the floor, and just like hearing all that was pretty wild. And then our boy won, which made it even better. It was just crazy. It was a very fast day and a half.
Right.
To fly all the way to Philly from here, do that, and then fly all the way back.
Yeah. For
Like, that was-
for you guys, we literally we got Friday afternoon, we hopped on a plane, flew out to Philly, got there at almost midnight, stayed up till 2 a.m. trying to find food and getting into our hotel. Woke up at 7, walked all of Philadelphia.
13 miles.
13 miles, all of Philadelphia, came home, came back to the hotel, showered, and then immediately went to the fight until got
Almost
back at
1
1 in the
a.m.,
morning.
yeah.
And then flew out. We had to get up at 3 a.m., 3:30 to go fly out back to Southern California.
Yeah, it was pretty. But dude, it was
It
so
was
fun.
fun.
It was so fun.
And like we talked about too, it was cool seeing a different side of Jalen because
Yeah.
we see him. I mean, you train with him here and there, and I know I've seen him just at the coffee shops and just I don't know friend stuff, and to see that different side, like one, it's funny. Like we were talking about, I forget that he's like a professional athlete. Like people waiting around, like someone waited around 7 hours to get his autograph, and then not only that, just to see like he's such a nice, humble guy, and then that flip switch after his weight cut, like he was still goofy and fun, but it was just like there was a tension that you could feel around him where he was just ready and locked in, and you saw it.
Yeah.
Dude, it was cool.
It was pretty sweet, man.
It was
pretty sweet.
But
And I was just talking to him yesterday about it too, and it's just like, just hearing his perspective on it, which was different than our perspective, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was cool. And then he was talking to, Josh and like Pody about things too. And it was just like such a cool dynamic, just getting to see all of it.
Yeah.
Right. Because I got to be part of his camp, and like it's his second camp I've got to be part of now, which was really cool. But just like I felt it in just grappling rounds with him. Like when he was in, for some magical thing happened from him just coming to train with us to all of a sudden, oh no, I'm in camp. Like it was a switch, and it's like everything was just firing differently. His like intensity, his everything. I mean, he's a professional fighter, right? Like, and I'm a dad trying to stay competitive.
Yeah.
But it was just, it's different. Like you said, there's like a switch that happens. And even just in training, I was like, what the heck? Like, I just trained with you a week ago, but you weren't in camp, and now you're in camp, and all of a sudden, it's like that brain switch. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool. That's why we missed last week.
Yeah. So we missed most of July because we were both off doing stuff. Like how was like you specifically? You're very, very busy. You're doing a lot of different things like all the time, right?
Dude,
Never. Yeah.
I'm barely able to keep my eyes open right now.
I was about to make a joke and then I realized
You should have.
Here. No, not that kind of joke. A different one. Making fun of somebody, and I was like, oh, I can't do that. They might hear it. So, which isn't fair. I should say it to their face. I would. Like, what is the significance and the importance? Like, one of the reasons that we took time off is that you went with your family on a houseboat. You did that last year, which is why we took time off. We did this. You did again this year. Like, when you're constantly going, like at the rate that you are, you're a business owner. You're coaching people. You're a part of our church. You're training, doing all these different things. Like, why do you find it so important to pull time away for a significant chunk, like a week, almost 2 weeks, to go spend time with your family?
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what we wanted to talk about today. Jordan's asking the question, but the importance of one, rest, but two, the importance of being able to pull yourself away from whatever it is you're doing with the intent of fully like letting go and releasing, right? Like rest, but also rest with intention, which sounds silly. But it is, I would have never understood that, years ago, of like, because sometimes you feel, there's probably someone listening right now that you feel like you don't have time to take a break, or you can't take a vacation, or you can't let off the gas. Like I get it, like 100%. Like I feel like as if right now I can't let off the gas. But what I discovered of years of like kind of always being on the go is if you don't take time to be intentional with letting your mind just chill, obviously rest, relax, recuperate, recover, you're going to burn out, right? We see it in every aspect of life. You have, if it's in the church world, it's, pastoral fatigue or church burnout, right? Like, and that usually turns to something usually a little bit more not so good. Mm-hmm. In the professional world, it's like, you see it with people and how their businesses are ran, or sometimes the businesses don't make it, or the owners just like being so ran down that they find, that kind of dopamine hit somewhere else or whatever it is. Like, we see it in all aspects, where if you're not intentional with creating some form of rest for yourself, you're going to burn out. It's impossible not to. And so for me, it took me a really long time to learn that. And also, it wasn't even something I had to learn more. It wasn't something I had to learn. It was more so like I didn't have an opportunity to, right? Like there wasn't time. There wasn't money. There wasn't an opportunity for me to be able to be like, all right, I'm gone for a week and a half. You guys got it. Like, I'm not doing anything with the business. Like, there was never that opportunity until you build systems and you build structures and you have awesome people in leadership positions that help you do that. But I would say, like, if I were talking to myself years ago when I didn't have that team and I didn't have that structure and I didn't have the quote unquote money to do it, I would have still encouraged myself to find even 1 to 2 days to unplug. They don't even need to be anywhere, right? Just intentionality behind letting go, resetting, and refocusing, right? Because I burned out numerous times, and it came out in other ways, whether it was my health. I'm like a pretty healthy guy. I've been very active my entire life. Like to have 90% of my life, I've been in pretty good shape. But those times where I've let myself get out of those patterns is because I was clearly burning out, right? And it's going to come out some way, whether it's, your health and fitness, whether it's the way I was treating my wife or my kids, or treating my duties as a business owner and neglecting certain areas of my business. Like, it's going to happen. It's impossible not to. I keep saying that, but I think for today and for me, with what our intent is behind the podcast of really letting you guys, like, yeah, we did take like a little summer break, but it was intentional, right? Like, we were like a week in and we're like, oh dang, like we got to record. And then we kind of just looked at each other and like, well, why don't we just take July off like we did last year, and not have to worry about something, not have to be, put something in front of the other. And I'm rambling a lot to say, like, if you're in a season of life where you just feel like you've had your all gas, no break 100%, like I also feel that, but taking the 2.5 weeks I took this summer to better equip myself for the rest of this year was life-changing, right? But I'm reaping some of those, consequences now. Like, I just spent 7 hours today literally catching up on invoicing. Like, that's crazy. That should have never happened. But I chose to be intentional with letting go of some of that. I'm not saying that was the right move, but I've learned for myself, if I don't take these pockets, like, I'm not going to be the best that I can be. And so the power of like rest and turning off is something I wish I would have learned, 16 years ago, 5 years ago. But moving forward, I will always be intentional with that. Even if it's, like I said, 1 to 2 days away from work, away from my obligations as like in church or our podcast, whatever it is, letting go for a couple of days so my mind can kind of reset. Like, it's impossible not to burn out. Mm-hmm. So that was a crazy long answer.
No, that was a good answer. I mean, you answered the question that I was asking.
Well, for you, dude, like even though we took off July, you were on a trip, but you were also working.
I didn't really get to take time off, and it's something that I need to work on and be better at. But I'm also in a different stage now. I came out of a season, like we were joking about, that I was busy, but not probably as busy as I should have been. And it was like this, it was just, I had a good amount of family time at that time. So I came out of that season, and now I'm in the season of just go, 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 go. And I was talking, it was funny, I was talking about it with two other older gentlemen the other day, and I was like, hey, like I told my wife, like, hey, that we're in a season right now where I'm going to have to do a push for this chunk of time. And when I'm out of it, then we'll readjust our schedule. And one of them that told me, he goes, I did that once with my wife. He's like, let me encourage you to put a physical date on that. Because if you don't, like I did that and it turned into 2 years, and then it turned into just some bad situations because I went too hard for too long and just never turned it off.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, I've definitely done that before, where I said it was going to be a season, and I never put a cap on that season. and then it ran over. So right now I'm at a spot where I'm looking at like the month of July and August have both been super busy for me. But actually, once school starts, there's like this chunk in my schedule that it's actually going to slow down. Like my schedule has to slow down because I can't get the projects done. There's too many people in our building or whatever it is. We don't have anything booked out that far yet for the other side of work. So there's going to be this moment where I slow down and I can spend a little more intentional time with my family. But even then, like I was gone. When we left for our trip up north, I ended up having to go. I ended up having to go on a work trip for 2 weeks. But there was I made sure that I came home for basically one full, or up to my parents' house for one full day, and that one full day, I just told everybody, like, hey, I'm turning off my phone for basically a day, and I'm just going to spend time with my family. And it was awesome. I just took that full. So that's the encouragement to some of you who are in this stage right now where you're going and you're like, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy. Everybody has a day, I turned off for a full day and did it.
I mean, if you're a believer,
you should.
It's part of what we're called to do. It's not a suggestion,
dude. And that's something that I'm working on because I've been so naturally so bad with the Sabbath, like taking it one day.
Yeah.
I'm always doing something, and honestly, it's not fair to my family really either. So that's something that I've felt a lot of conviction over the last year, and something I'm trying to implement. And I haven't been doing a good job of it. But
yeah, but also dude, Sabbath is I think unless you're just this legalist, oh my gosh, you have to do this, which I know people like that.
Right.
Bro, I think you need to pump the brakes a little, to that person. But a Sabbath can just be intentionally not responding to work, right? But you're still living life. You're still doing things. You're still whatever, right? I know pure Sabbath is you do nothing. I understand that. But I also think there are things that I don't consider work, right? If I'm responding to something that, it might involve work, but it's not causing me to not, rest. I don't know. I'm a little different with that, but like you said, there's pockets, and everyone has a day, an afternoon,
right.
A couple hours, right?
Well, here's the thing too, the Sabbath was 6 days of hard work and a day of rest. And so there's a lot of people, though, that are like, I need a Sabbath. And it's like, well, bro, you've been working hard for 3 days.
Yeah, you worked 3 days out of the week. Come on.
Yeah, you don't Sabbath that often.
Yeah.
So I think there is something built into us where we are, especially men, built to work and built to work hard at something for a significant amount of our week.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of people that just miss that.
I think to add to that, too, though, I'm not perfect at it. It's something I really try to work at, and I still work at it. And it's the reason why I try to figure out systems that I can put in place for myself, because I know myself. But working with intention, right? We live in a rat race world where it's keeping up with the Joneses, especially here in Southern California. It's we're all so busy. How many times do you say, hey, what's up, dude? And you're like, I'm just busy. I do it, right? You do it. We all do it. Oh, I'm busy, right? I said it right before we started. I ran into someone. She's like, how you been? I was like, today's just been nuts. And I was like, I've been busy. And so I catch myself. But being busy to be busy is so silly. And it's something we've created for ourselves versus being busy with intention, right?
Yeah.
Actually completing things and doing things in a way where it's efficient and there's intention behind it. And I think that's something I've been working on myself over the last couple of years of when you're doing something, do it with intention, right? People do different things, whether it's work blocks or they block out their time. They work for 45 minutes. They take a 15-minute break. Whatever works for you. Don't be busy to be busy. Be busy with intention. And you'll probably see that you can get most of the stuff that's taking you 5 days done in probably 3 if you're actually intentional with it. And that's something that, I didn't really begin to understand until I started taking these intentional times away from certain things. And my intentional time away was forced. We didn't have service on the houseboat, right? But then I realized, oh, wait, I had an unintentional, fully unplugged week. But I was intentional with going and getting service, right? 2 times throughout the trip. This last one, I only went and got service 1 time, because I was like, I pre-prepped for everything for me to be gone, unless there was an emergency, right? But I pre-did everything for me to be gone. I still went because I think it would be very irresponsible of me to not check in on my own business, right? So I still made the effort to get service and check in with my key people. But I didn't like reach out to everybody else. I had like 50 text messages that came in. I didn't respond to any of them outside of the ones that I needed to, because I had set that boundary for myself. And so it's like, again, not everyone's in that position to be able to do that. It took me years and years and years to get there. But even outside of my trips, I'm very intentional with my time. And, you know, like sacred things, like little things. Like when I'm home for dinner, phone's away, right? Like it was an hour and a half that I get with my family, an hour and a half to unplug. Jiu-jitsu, a couple times a week. That is my time on the mat mentally to not focus on anything else outside of the world except what's in front of me. And I've built those little systems at the gym, you know, with you guys a couple times a week. I specifically leave my phone in the cubby, right? I specifically don't wear my Garmin half the time because I don't want the text message to come in. But I want to see like my heart rate, right? So I disabled my text messages. But it's those little pockets of time that I've learned for myself that matter. You know, we always say it, like little tiny habits, like if you stack them, they compound over time. If I have an hour to myself Wednesday morning and Friday morning before things get crazy, or in the middle of things getting crazy, I just gave myself this full mental break, right? And if you need more, like if you're going to cry about not having enough time to yourself, then like you got to really readjust your schedule, but be intentional with it. Like it's not that difficult to do when you actually think about it, you know?
Yeah, there was a pastor that was talking about that pretty recently. He's like, man, we just all, like, being busy has become like
it's like a badge of honor.
Yeah, it is. Like, burn the candle at both ends, burn it down, you know? And I think you and I have said this multiple times in private, but then he's like, but then, like, that's not the person that you want to learn from. He's like, you know, like, what if somebody was like, hey, you know, like, how are you doing? You're like, I'm actually living a pretty balanced life. I'm accomplishing my work, setting myself good, solid boundaries, making sure that I spend time with my family, get my workouts in, prioritizing things that should be prioritized, and living my life as balanced as I can at this season.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the kind of person you'd be like, oh yeah, dude, I want to learn from that guy.
Yeah.
And I find myself going into that trap all the time. I'm busy, and I'm not good at prioritizing things that I should prioritize. Like right now, this week I've actually been pretty stoked on it because I've just, like I said, I am in a busy season.
Yeah, which is
there's
fair.
just a season. Yeah, and it's gonna happen. There's just a busy season. But I got home way too late at the end of last week and walked in the door way later than I wanted to. My kids were already ready for bed, and I looked at Caitlin and I was like, "How about we just all go get ice cream?"
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, let's do it. And so we literally piled in. I left my phone off, and in the car we all went to go get ice cream. Yesterday, you know, like I've just been getting home later and later and later, and it hasn't been good. Like I've been wanting to spend time with my family, and my wife and I were able to get the kids down early enough, and I like literally took a shower, and as I was getting out of the shower, I was just like, you know what? The kids are down, grandma's here. Why don't we just go up the street and grab a glass of wine?
Yeah.
So I texted her, hey, I literally got out of the shower. I was like, hey, stay dressed. Let's go get a glass of wine. And so we did that last night. And it was like, I'm trying to find those little moments in the in-betweens to make sure that everybody in my family knows that they are important to me.
Yeah.
And it's real easy for me to, at the end of the day, go, well, no, I want to go sit down and, you know, scroll on Instagram or watch a few minutes of whatever I want to watch, or, you know, I mean, not like going to get ice cream or wine is like, oh, whoa, I'm so down.
Yeah.
Look at me. But it was at the same time, like, is that necessarily what I wanted to do in that moment? No, I really wanted to just like lay down.
Yeah.
But I knew that it was going to be more impactful, especially when I'm having these busy moments. So like it's one thing that I'm working on. It's something I would encourage other people to work on. If you are in that busy season, find those little in-between moments just to do something small with your family or something small with your wife. That'll go such a long way.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I think we have to be better at communicating to our friend groups or to our family or to our spouses. It's like, it's little things. It's, you know, you just need those little moments to reset, to rest and recover. Like that's all it is. And it could be, like you said, something so simple, but I put those in place for myself weekly. So I don't get to the point where I burn out as much anymore. Does it happen? Of course it happens, right? Like I'm not saying I'm never burning out or I adhere to all these things or I don't need a break. Of course I need a break. Like what? My life can be stressful. Everyone's life can be stressful. Like you go to the gas station right now and diesel is almost $7.30. That's freaking stressful, right? So it's like, but if I wasn't so attuned with myself and how I function and how I operate and how I choose to do things, which is half the battle of getting to that place, like I wouldn't know that I need to have those 4 days a week where I have these 1 hour pockets, right? Like to some people, like you have been one of them, like other friends of ours, like they make fun of me for never scheduling things Monday and Wednesday nights, right? But that's a non-negotiable for me. I'm not like so crazy to the point where I don't, like last night we wanted to get dinner with you know, friends, so I did. But 98% of the time, Monday, Wednesdays are just a non-negotiable for me. It's not just for my health. It's a commitment I've made to myself. It's also so I get that mental clarity and that mental release, that rest, that reset, you know, that recover like mode. And then the gym in the mornings. It's like, so I get 4 days currently that is like planned and scheduled and that I pay for that I have to show up for. But you know, that's 5.5 hours a week.
Actually, it's only 3 days because you go Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
I know, but I get an hour in the morning, Wednesday, an hour at night, or 2 hours at night.
Right.
So it's like, you know, but those.
Right, and you guys can stack those. Like that's a great example. Like Monday night you do jujitsu.
Yeah.
Wednesday night you do jujitsu. Wednesday morning we have our workout. Friday morning we have our workout, and so it's nice and staggered. So you're just getting those 4 hours of to yourself time.
Yeah.
But also leaving plenty of time for your family.
And then the rest, you know, is when I work out at home, I know it's going to be uninterrupted.
Yeah.
But that's great. That's, you know, I have my uninterrupted times. And it's, you know, again, I want to make it clear, it's not about just me going to these places. It takes discipline to actually be intentional with those, right? Like I didn't want to go to our workout yesterday. I'm dealing with some health stuff. Like I haven't been sleeping, like all those things. But I was like, no, I know I need this, you know? And again, it's little things, but the power of actually letting go and resetting is like the message today is it's important in whatever you're doing. Because if not, you're going to burn out or things are going to take a turn in some area of your life, and better get a hold of it before something bad happens that you can't unturn, you know?
Yeah. That's good, man.
Yeah.
I think that's where we wrap it for today. Okay. Well, guys, welcome back. We're happy to have you. And remember, as always, be a good dude.